Welcome to the Lozano Lounge. Today we have a wonderful human being I know and I've met some time ago, and Carissa Demond. Hello,
Hello. Hello.
welcome.
Hello.
Carissa
Thank
is
you.
a model, an adult model as well. And well, let's just dive into it. Let me know.
Okay.
How are you
Yeah.
today?
I am good. Thank you. I am good. It's about 48 degrees here in Florida. It's crazy. I know.
Well, 48 degrees there. Let me
Yes.
see how much that is outside of the United States. 8
Okay.
degrees. I know that my room in the hotel was 72 and it was too cold.
Oh, good gosh.
Degrees, 48 Fahrenheit. So funny that you have a German word, Fahrenheit, uh,
Yes.
for your stuff, you know.
Hmm.
Celsius is, oh, 28. Very nice.
Woo. Woo.
We have we have winter here actually. Does winter exist in Florida? I don't think so, right?
Well, yes, it does. Actually, I think we're supposed to get down to 32 tomorrow.
Okay, we're at 33 right now.
Okay. Well, that's our cold winter.
But you'll go down to 32 tomorrow, so it drops
Hmm.
50
Yeah.
in one day.
Hmm. Well,
Is it
well, no,
possible?
it's 50. Well, no, it's 48, 32. Yeah, it can do that. Yes, it can.
My
Oh
God.
yeah, it's craziness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, well, and it's also
Yeah.
8 o'clock in the morning for you. For me, it's 2 o'clock in the
Yes.
afternoon. All right.
Yes.
Um, Carissa, how is life in Florida?
Life in Florida is good. It's good. They're keeping me busy here, and with my regular job, and then also with modeling. I actually have a shoot today at 12.
Hmm.
So yeah, so just kind of just like you, just kind of fitting everything in.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, that's how it is, right? It's cool.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, what kind of a
Absolutely.
shooting are you doing today?
I'm doing a bondage shooting today, and it's with Jim Hunter. So yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
So just for our viewers, you're a model who does adult modeling. So you
Yes.
portray all kind of fetishes, and
Yes.
let's know what how big the rainbow is of all the colors you do, and maybe what you
Okay.
do not do as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, I do like lingerie. I will do some pinup. I've worked with Don Cross and done just some calendars and magazines. Of course, the bondage, the ball gags. I do some nudity. I will do some things that are a little risque, but definitely nothing, no sex and stuff like that. That's just not me. I get right to that little line and I kind of just stay right there. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
How did
Yeah.
you, I mean, I'm a photographer and I shoot a lot
Yes.
of, people. I have lots of private people, of course, but also
Right.
I
Right.
did a lot of model shoots. And everybody
Hmm.
always thinks, especially when I also do boudoir and nudity
Right.
and all that
Right.
kind of beautiful, like sculpting
Right.
people.
Right.
People always come to me, mostly men, say,
Hmm.
"Oh," and then da 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 da, And I
I
think it's just
know.
so far away from the truth. Because
Right.
just if you think about it, I mean, if you have any job,
Hmm.
whatever it is, and you just have
Right.
constantly this fear and whatever that there maybe
Right.
you can't work like that, and you cannot
Yeah.
send any bills like that as well, I guess.
No, exactly.
So how is this
Exactly.
from a model point of view?
It can be scary because I mean, you definitely have to ask around. If you're shooting with somebody new, you ask around, you vet them, and just kind of see what their style is. And some people are a little bit more, I don't want to say handsy, but they're involved in terms of like posing you or what they're looking for, how your hair is, how your clothing is. But for the most part, everybody follows that rule of consent. Is it okay if I touch you? I need to move this here, or I need to have that bra strap needs to be there. I'm tied up. There's nothing I could do about it. So yeah. So I mean, there's that, and I think that's basically what I expect from anybody I work with. Please ask me before you touch me. Just one, so I'm aware, and two, so we have an understanding that it is a consent thing. Just because I'm nude does not mean I'm spreading my legs and here we go. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I know
And I
what you
think that's
mean.
what some people think. They're like, well, you're nude, so why is that any different? Well, that is very different. That's very intimate. That's very personal. This is a shoot. This is very professional. And you have to be professional about it. You can't just go around and no, you're not going to make it in this business if that's what you're doing, whether you're a producer, a photographer, or a model. You can't.
I think for a lot of people, it's because they have never had the situation where they were nude with someone that is not in a sexual way, unless they're with a doctor,
Right,
maybe, or giving birth
right,
or whatever, you know.
right,
Um,
right,
it's impossible for them to imagine that you can produce a situation or act
right,
in a way that should look
right,
real, like in any movie
right,
you do, and
right.
it's not real. It's not. I mean, how real is it? Because I mean, you are really tied up. You're gagged. You're
Yes,
whatever.
yes,
So
yes.
in a fight in a movie, they don't hit each other usually. So
Right.
that's fake. But with you,
Yes.
it's a kind of a real people. Like I don't know when you shoot something like a cat burglar scene, and then the
Mhm.
whoever comes and just overwhelms you. This is, I mean, this is real acting. That's not a stuntman or anything. So
Right. Right.
how can you explain where the line is between this is real, it looks real, it should look real, but
Right.
it's not. So how
Right.
is that?
Right. Yeah. Well, there is definitely a line, and there's also a mutual agreement, and also just a safety factor. You talk about it before you actually do whatever the scene is, or the shoot. And once you talk about it, everybody has an understanding, and you also have a safe word. Or if your mouth is gagged, you have a safe sound. Three grunts means I'm in trouble, get me out.
Okay.
And then I've also talked, especially with the harder bondage, where I'm pretty much incapacitated. I have a way of making eye contact and letting them know I want to know how much longer I have in this, because if I don't have any idea, I'm going to start stressing out and start freaking out, and that is real. And there have been times where I'm almost to that edge and I'm getting really scared, and they see it, and then they're like, no, let's, sorry, my dog is
Oh,
making some
let's
noise.
see your dog. I love dogs, as you
Oh
can
my
see.
gosh, this is Max. I don't know if you can see him, but he's got a sad little face. Where are you,
Oh,
Max?
look at
There you are.
Max.
There's
Oh, sweet.
Max. And he's just making all kinds of little sad noises. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab him a
Of
little
course.
snack. Oh, good
I wish my
gosh.
dogs were here, but they're
He's
not.
so, he's a senior dog. And so he just, can you sit?
He's a
Sit.
grumpy old.
Oh, he's a grumpy old
Everything was better
man.
when I
Yes,
was
he
young.
is. He is. And he knows I'm home because I'm usually not home. And so he's just here. Oh, come on, spend time with me. Come on,
Okay.
buddy. I'm gonna have to put you away if we don't not able to do this, hon. Ah,
That's
so
life. Let him be. I don't
yeah,
care. I love dogs.
sorry.
Whoever doesn't like dogs is
Right.
very suspicious to me.
Right.
Although I didn't like dogs when I was younger, but I didn't understand them.
Really?
I
Oh,
I,
good gosh,
I
yeah.
had cats and dogs. I said the line, and I'm ashamed of it, but I said whoever loved dogs um
Right.
is just is not able to handle his whole life.
Oh
Because I
no, you
thought,
did.
a dog loves everyone who feeds him. I couldn't be any
Right.
wronger because I was a cat person, and I felt like it's like
Uh,
a Mac and you have people with windows. So I said,
right, right,
but I was so wrong until I had my own dog. And
right.
I mean, there's nothing like a dog. So
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Is that the picture behind you? Is that your
those
dog?
are my dogs, yes. You can see them.
Oh,
That,
oh gosh.
that's
Okay, yeah, I see the
Lulu.
darker one now.
And the darker one
Oh,
is Rocco. He looks like Anubis, and the small one
go.
looks like an
Oh,
Ewok.
oh
Also
yes,
here.
like an Ewok. Yes, you're
Here.
right. Yes, with the face. How cute. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, maybe we'll have
Oh.
a dog podcast one time when they bark at each other. Who knows?
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Oh,
We'll
good
see
gosh.
with translation then, and I don't know,
Yes.
Klingon and whatever.
Oh, good gosh.
So
Klingon.
so Carissa, when you're, let's say, I mean, to be in bondage is something very special because usually what
Right.
it's, I mean, made for is to make someone not move. You know, like I don't know,
Right.
I don't know, when you're a hostage maybe, or when the police arrest you or whatever. So uh,
Right.
putting yourself in this position, how to
Mm.
say, by your own decision,
Right.
how did you come up with, I mean, how did you realize that that's something that you maybe are interested in, and then
Right.
taking the step to really do it, and then
Right.
taking the step to do it in front of a camera for
Right.
an audience?
Right. It was definitely a mindset. I saw it. I was curious. I'm an endurance person. I like to run. I like to swim. I like to scuba. So I'm always testing my limits to see what I can do. And this was just another way I could see I could test my limits. And it
Like if you can
definitely
break out,
is.
or how?
Well, I have done that. I do have some people that will tie me for a challenge so that there is a small chance I can get out. There are some ties, there is absolutely no way you're going to get out. But they still like to see you struggle. And then there are others, it's more the, oh yeah. And then there are others,
It
it's just,
sounds like it sounds like a brother and sister games of, I don't know, when you were kids and you were
yes,
playing the Wild
yep,
West, and just tying each other up
right.
and say, ha, ha, ha. Is it that the way how it
Exactly.
starts?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as a child, I remember having those interactions and it was fun, but it was also frustrating because I also don't like people controlling me. But yet there are times that I need that just to kind of bring me back to center and kind of put me back together again because the world is so chaotic. That's just a way of somebody saying, okay, I've got you here. You're mine and now I'm going to let you go. Or you break free and you get out. So it's just a mindset, like a resetting. It's hard to explain, but it's happened, and it's happened to a point where I've been in tears. I worked with Eric Kane numerous times, and there were times that it was almost like a release, and I was crying like a baby because it was just I needed that. My body needed that. I'm getting goosebumps because I needed, it was like he was my torturer and then my savior. And it was wonderful. And it's just something that you kind of want to go back to. It's like getting that natural high. There's no drugs involved, it's just natural. But your body just says, yes, I'm out. I'm happy to be alive. I'm now back to comfortable. And it's an experience. And you want to keep going back.
So is it like
And I love it.
breaking everything apart and then putting it together
Yes.
again?
And then putting it back together again. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
there a
And
similar?
trusting somebody. You have to trust somebody to be able to do that because some people will tie you up and think, oh, and we're going to leave you that way for several hours. No, that's not going to happen.
How long
Yeah.
are those sessions? I mean, usually. I mean, I mean, just
Um,
practically, like, what happens if you
right.
have to go to the toilet, or you want to drink something, or you have to let
Right.
go? I don't know.
Right. No, well, you go to the bathroom before, of course, always. But they usually last a good hour,
No,
I would say. Max, stop,
Max.
buddy. Come on. I'm not sure. He's never been this
He wants to be
bad.
held like this, maybe.
No. You need to relax, baby. But it usually lasts about an hour. And what'll happen is you'll be tied a certain way, and then something will be changed, whether it's the gag or the tie. And then you're back into a different tie. And then it's more of a tougher tie. So it's kind of it morphs into an hour, and by an hour you're pretty much done. You're untied, you relax, and maybe you can go for another hour. It depends. Like today I'm doing 2 hours with Jim Hunter, and there will be bits and pieces. I think we'll do at least 3 shoots, 3 different pieces. And but you have to have breaks in between. So the people that say, oh, I'm going to tie you up like that and leave you for an hour, not this kind of tie, and not for all day. That to me is not enjoyable. I like the process of it and then the release of it. I don't like just sitting there tied several hours, and your body can't handle that. You start getting numb. And when you start getting numb, that's when your body's saying, hey, you're done with this. Yeah, let's get out of this, because you don't want to have nerve damage. And that's a reality.
So you need someone who really knows what he's doing.
Exactly. And that's why when people say, "Oh, hey, I want to tie you up. I haven't really done it before." No, you need to go practice. Yeah, especially for the type of ties that I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if not, you're going to end up cutting your rope or you're
Yeah.
going to lose models and you'll never work again. So,
So I
yeah.
guess also this whole, let's say the fetish world is a is a
Right.
is a small community. So if
Yes.
someone fucks up, you know,
Right.
in
Yeah.
a really bad way or in an intentional
Right.
way, I think it spreads
Right.
pretty fast. So
Yes, it does.
you have to be
Right.
good or
Right.
you won't get
Right.
it, I guess, right?
Well, and the other thing is the model has to be, she has to communicate well because you'll have some models, they're either brand new or they're scared that they're going to be seen as wimpy. And so they'll let it go a little too far. There's that give and take where you both are at the edge. The model's at that edge and the rigger's at that edge. And you kind of stay very close. It's a very personal connection. And if that model doesn't say anything and then later has a problem, that's also, it's something that she has to be aware, she or he has to be aware of. You have to know your body. Numbness is normal to a certain extent, but when you can't start moving, yeah, we're done. And you have to know that, and you have to feel comfortable to say it. Because I've known some models, it has gone past that point, and they're like, well, I was scared to say something. It's your body. Your body has to be functional. And that's my biggest thing. Don't hurt me. I do work, I do live, I'm very active, and I want to keep it that way. So,
When I lie on the sofa and watch, I don't know, a
yeah,
movie or something for an hour and I get up and I didn't,
yeah,
everything hurts like the back. And
yeah.
so, I mean, now I imagine being tied up, you have your hands on your back and maybe I've seen
Hmm.
some very sporty, positions.
Oh, yes,
So when there's the
yes.
release and the endorphins come and then they go,
Hmm.
and then there's
Right.
still, is there a body pain or do you do, I don't know, do you yoga? Do you go to a physiotherapist? Anything that, just keeps the system smooth? Because I mean,
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, you have to do self-care, body care. I usually do stretching to kind of stretch everything out. It's usually the next day. So I use a lot of Tiger Balm, hot baths. I love bubble baths every night. I also do a cold hot where I'll get in, like today, I could get in the pool and it's freezing, and then I get in the hot tub, and then I just go to the house and it's all nice and warm. So, I mean, you definitely do things. And of course, a little Tylenol doesn't hurt. But yeah, you have to self-care because you are sore. Yeah.
so going to the physiotherapist, having a bubble bath and stuff, this is all a write-off if you're a bondage model. Is that possible?
It's all part of it. It
Pretty
is
good
all part of
incentive, I
it.
would say.
Yes. Oh, it is. It is. I come home from a shoot and my husband's already saying, "Hey, you ready for your bubble bath?" Yes, please.
Oh,
Yes. He knows. Oh, yeah. He definitely knows it. I need it. And that, again, that's just another reset, relax. Everything is good. I'm okay. I can kind of think through the whole shoot and, different things. If there was anything I would have changed, which is very rare. The people I work with, they're really good at what they do, you know? So,
so I still have with my work way more distance to the model, just
right.
physically,
Yeah.
usually than
Yes.
you have with the rigger or the cameraman had to who touches you and
Right.
who does all kinds of
Right.
acted
Right.
out treatment.
Right.
So so you're married, you have a husband, and I guess when you
Yeah.
started,
Yeah.
how did it affect your private life? Did you discuss it? Did you, I don't know. I mean, everybody should do what they
Right.
want, but of course, there's a
Oh,
certain
yeah.
line, especially if it's physical, that you, I guess,
Right.
have to talk about in your relationship. How did you solve
Absolutely.
that if you had to solve it in any way?
We actually did have to solve it. And I think every couple goes through this. You have to have a conversation. What I do on set is business. We might be friends, but it is business, and I keep it business. In terms of touching me, it is more a touching for the shoot. There's nothing, if somebody's grabbing my breast and doing bondage. that's business. It's not like it's a, oh, baby, and we're going to run off and go have sex. No, it does. That does not happen. I don't care what people want to dream. That does not happen. But also just, an honesty between my husband and I. I like working with this person. They're a really good friend. There might be a little bit more to it in terms of touch or what I do in front of the camera. And as long as we communicate and he is aware, he's very supportive. And I come home to him. I'm happy to see him. I'm happy to be with him. He is my person. And I think just that constant reassurance. And I also need that from him. He knows what I do. And when he sees me, I love you. Those are things that I need to hear. And if I don't hear it frequently, I get upset. So, every now and then throughout the day, he'll just send a text, I love you. And it's just enough wherever I am, whether it's at my vanilla job or if I'm at a shoot, I'll see it. And that's just a reassurance. Okay, he's got my back, and I think that's what you have to do. If something happens that you think is a little questionable, you immediately go and you talk about it and say, look, this might look like this, or it might have been a little bit of this. I want you to know, okay, no hiding, no secrets, nothing like that. You have to talk about it. And also be aware that other people will talk about it and think that something's going on. And you have to have that reassurance. No, this is my home life. This is my husband. That is my job. That is a business. But that's also why I keep that line there. We don't cross that line. There are lots of people that are very successful doing the whole, the intercourse, the sex business, but that's just not me. Mine is just with myself, and that's it.
I think also it's easier to just draw that line, because if you
Yes.
have whatever intercourse or kissing or all this stuff,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
everybody knows a lot of stories from the actors in the Hollywood movies when but they also work like 3-4 months in a row with someone, and they fall in love
Right.
because they have to pretend to be a couple and kiss and maybe all that stuff.
Absolutely.
I've been on movie
Absolutely.
sets, and having a kissing and a sex scene is the least attractive and sexual thing you can think of, with a whole
Yes,
team
exactly.
around and then stop
All these
and
people
everybody
around.
back in
Yes.
position and give it a little more, and oh, what's that sound? Stop, 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 there's a plane. This is
Yeah.
not,
No,
it's
no,
not sexy,
no.
at
Right.
all, at all.
At all. At
And
all.
also, that's the point, when I shoot with a model and she's new,
Yeah.
of course I see a
Yeah.
beautiful body and I
Oh,
see
yeah.
perfect perky bosoms and whatever, but
Yeah. Right.
I can't be there drooling all over that. Of course, I enjoy it more than I shooting I don't
Right.
know, some shampoo bottle or something.
Well,
But your
yes.
job is to create this sculpt, this whole thing, and it's
Right. Right.
like a cook who has the most beautiful and great ingredients. He still works with it. He just
Right.
eat everything up, right? Is it? How
Exactly.
is it for you?
Exactly. It's definitely, there are definitely fun parts of it. Because it is neat, to kind of be touched by somebody else, or to kiss somebody else. But in the end, you draw that line because you're going to see that person, and you're going to see that person kissing other people, and you'll be kissing other people. You have to be able to draw that line. Yes, it's enjoyable, but it is a business, and you can't let it take you further, because if you do, you're going to get hurt. I'm sorry. You can't say, oh, well, he kissed me, so he must love me. No, he probably cares a lot about you and doesn't want to hurt you. But no, that's just the true fact of it. Or you're going to fall in love with everybody and your heart's going to get broken with everybody. And then
Yeah, you will
it
never
just
have a
doesn't
real
work that way.
relationship. This isn't.
Exactly, because exactly, your expectations. I know that if something happens and I'm kissing somebody, we have to make it look real, and it feels real, and it feels great. And then afterwards, it's like, okay, it was so nice to see you, big hug, and then off we go. It's like, that's how it is. Yeah.
Why do you do what you do?
Why do I do what I do? I do it because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good personally, because somebody finds me attractive, or wants to, the fans want to see me tied up, or they want to see me nude. That's a big deal. I'm going to be 54 this year. So to me, being
Wow.
54 and not, being forgotten or, oh, that old lady, it's a good thing for me. But I also like that I make other people happy, whether it makes them smile or whether it makes them turned on or, whatever it does for them, it's a good thing. And I want to keep it a good thing. I've even had people say, oh, you make me feel so good. I want to show you. No, 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 that's okay. I don't need to see you doing your thing, but yay, I'm glad that you like what I do and that I turn you on. That's kind of how I look at it. It's a positive feeling, and that's what I want, positive. Even when I'm tied up and gagged and they like seeing me tortured, it's a good thing because they know in the end I'm gonna survive. I'm not dead, you know. But it's the fantasy. We all have different fantasies that if they really happen, would it really be that great? No, probably not. If I died, would that really be awesome? No, not really. Because you're going to
No.
want to see me do it again. So,
Like an Indiana Jones movie. A lot of things
yeah.
happen. He survives. Part two, part three, part four.
Yeah, part two, part three. Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
what do you think of? I mean, I think the times we live in right now are really very
Right.
ambivalent. You say that? Ambivalent?
Yes, I do.
Because
Yes,
on one
ambivalent.
hand, we
Yes.
have this whole get to know yourself better, listen to your heart,
Right.
and
Right.
the self-awareness thing,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
doing what you love, which is great
Yes.
that we have
Right.
times we can think of that. On the other
Right.
hand, we have the this explosion of sexual and porn things in the internet by OnlyFans,
Right.
whatever, which is
Right.
also kind
Right.
of a thing of mostly women, of course, because
Right.
sells way more. They earn money with it and stuff. And then we have
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
the third part of it, which says porn is bad. It's a pity.
Oh,
It's a sad thing for people who just sit in front of their computer and jerk off and are not able to have a real relationship. So in this whole
right.
super positive and super negative thing, where do you
Right.
position yourself, or what is your attitude towards both sides?
Right.
Because I think both are kind of valid,
Right.
because both is
Right.
true, but it contradicts
Right.
each other. What is, or does it not?
Right. Well, that's a tough one because I mean, I understand when people say porn is bad and, if people sit in their house all day and watch porn, oh, they're going to be horrible. Well, one, I hope they don't sit in their house all day because you need to get out and about and see people and just do things, even if it's by yourself, go hiking, do something. But you also have to look at they're supporting somebody, the person who's doing the porn. And a lot of people who are in the porn business, they like it. It's something about it, just like the bondage for me, something about it does something for them. And I have friends that I've watched, and they're really good at what they do. And and it's not something I choose to do, but I'm totally supportive of them because they're all in. You have Misty Meaner, and she's like super happy, the most happiest person I've ever seen. And I mean, she goes full force. I mean, she is just incredible, but she takes good care of her body. She is very active. There's nothing sad about that. And it's not like she's doing it because she has to. She's doing it because she's good at it and she's able to prosper from it. Her own place, her own farm, her own animals, figuring out her own schedule. There's a lot of freedom in that too. And if a person finds that porn does it for them, go for it. I think we all watch porn, and I mean it's good, and it's good to kind of have that fantasy world. I don't have a problem with it. Of course, I prefer people to pay for their porn because that supports the person doing it. But again, each person makes their own choice. So
I guess an addiction is always bad, either if it's porn
right,
or video games
right,
or sugar or cigarettes or
right,
alcohol or whatever,
exactly,
cocaine,
yeah,
any
right,
any addiction is trying to fill a void, that is not
right, right,
fillable with whatever you put in that
right,
is like that. And
right,
also I think there's a huge misunderstanding that people who do porn, especially women who do porn, do it because
right.
they don't have any other opportunity, because they're stupid, lazy, or they are
Oh
forced into
gosh.
it, or it's the only thing they can do. And
No,
especially
no,
people, who use their body for for money showing off,
Right.
because if you do labor,
Right.
everybody accepts it.
Right.
You're a lumberjack. Oh,
Right.
wow, okay, he's doing hard. But if
Yeah. Yeah.
you're a model, if you show off, and that's
Right.
just beautiful. I think there's a
Right.
lot of envy in that. Like you
Right.
like putting it like you get laid and get money for it at the same
No,
time. I mean, is there anything
exactly.
better? I don't know.
And you enjoy what you do. I mean, what's wrong with that? But no, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about why people do what they do. When you see me, I'm almost always smiling unless I'm in some of the bondage, but that's also part of the scene or the shoot. And when I'm out of it, the first thing you see is I'm like, ha, that was good. You had me good. I mean, you just, you want to give the fantasy and it does hurt and it is stressful. But then when you're done, it's like, yeah, that was good. I enjoy that. I choose to do that. If you don't like it or you want to not like me because of it, that's fine. Then you go and do what you do. Same thing with the porn. They're very happy. You know, everybody I've talked to, they really enjoy it. It's a job. They make good money. They make good money. They take very good care of their bodies. I mean, there's a whole nother thing that goes with all of that in terms of staying clean, STDs and all, and just, working out, it's not easy to stay in shape. So to think that somebody's lazy or that they're poor and they can't do anything else, oh, honey, it's expensive to do this stuff. The nails, the hair, the makeup, the eyelashes, the outfits, because I mean, the outfits, they range from real cheap stuff to really expensive stuff. And people have certain tastes. But then you have people that buy you those expensive things so that you will wear what they want you to wear. I mean, that's a custom. So I do think that people they give it a lot of negativity and it shouldn't be. And again, they don't have to like it. I'm not saying everybody should like porn or should like bondage, but if you don't like it, then go do what you do. But let me do what I do. Let you do what you do. You shouldn't judge me for it, and I'm not asking you to watch it, you know?
You said that you're gonna be 54 this year. Is age an issue in this whole business that is so related on the looks and I mean the whole,
Yes.
not only, but it's
Yes.
very important
Yeah.
how you look.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to necessarily look, like a 90, 60, 90
Oh
model.
no.
There's
Right.
people who love all kinds of
Oh yeah, there's a
shapes,
range.
but
Right.
let's say the majority is into
Hmm.
the very healthy, sexy,
Right.
the one.
Right.
So how is that for you now? uh, are you lucky? I mean, you do a lot for it. How is it? How is it about a certain age still doing that stuff?
Mhm.
How is that?
It's hard because I'm competing, at least in general, with a lot of very young people where they can just roll out of bed and they look perfect. I have to work at it. I'm telling you, I have to work at it. I have to exercise. I have to eat well. There are times I'll look at a picture and go, "Oh my gosh, I put on weight," and then I've got to correct it and do something about it. And I'm not saying you have to be skinny because by all means, I am not skinny. I have curves. I have hips. I do not have teeny tiny legs. I have runner legs. I
You're
and
very
I
feminine.
find
Okay.
exactly. Thank you. And I find that I prefer somebody that has curves. But there are those people that expect the perfect body, the skinny body, no fat. Well, then I'm not your girl. And that's okay. But I also don't want to get myself where I'm not happy with me. And I have a certain way that I like to look. And so that's why I work at it. And it is hard because I do have some people, I've had some younger people, mainly younger guys in their early 20s. Oh, hey, I'd love to have a cougar. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's just not really my thing. Oh, what, and they get upset. Like I should be happy that a younger guy, yeah, I'm happy that a younger guy finds me attractive. But to me, age is not a big deal. I'm attracted to I'm attracted to men that are older than me. Young men are okay, but I like the more seasoned, experienced, mature, older men. I mean, I love Robert Redford, and I mean, he's my one pass. My husband said he's my one pass. I mean, and he's definitely, older, but I just, so to me, somebody liking me, I'm a MILF, great. But if they don't like me because I'm too old, okay, then there are lots of younger girls. So, but it is a challenge because I've had some very nasty comments either about the way I look, that I put on weight. I'm looking a little chunky. Oh, you're a little too old for me. Okay, that's fine. I have to brush it off. And I've
Do you
finally
feel?
learned how.
How do you feel
I
when that comes?
it hurts my feelings when people say that because I'm like, you don't have to say that. You can go find other people. You don't have to say that to me. So why they feel that they have to be negative to me, I don't get that. It's almost like they want to be mean. And so I just have to, it used to really hurt me so bad that it would affect me. And now I'm just like, that's just them. I'll either block them. I'll try to be nice. Please don't, I don't appreciate how you're talking to me, and they go further, and then I just block them, you know, let them move on because that's how they want to be. But yeah, it does hurt. It does hurt, you know.
I guess, I mean, with age, more and more people, I mean, I guess everybody wants to be relevant in a way, make a
I
difference,
do. Yeah.
be
Yes.
useful for anything, or because
Yes.
why a lot of people when they are retired, they
Right.
they lose the spark of life pretty fast if they don't
Right.
have anything that makes them get up in the morning other than having a
Right.
breakfast and watching TV. So
Right.
is that maybe also helping you that you matter a lot to a lot of people and you get fan mails? And I've seen you on the FatCon in Florida when we met. There's a lot of people,
Yes.
like, wow, and you're like a star. And how does that
Yeah,
make you feel? Would you miss it, or is it also a kind of a little bit of a drug maybe for you? This
it
this
is.
publicity, and
It
how do they
is.
treat you? How is it to have fans that, want to make you feel great? Because not everybody has that.
Right. It definitely does affect me. I like looking and seeing how many people like my pictures, or how many people want to come and see me, or how many people, are buying my clips. The fan photo shoot is always awesome at FetCon because then I can actually meet people face to face. Hey, Max, enough, buddy, please. Good golly, he is so
He's a
needy
fan.
today. Oh yeah, he's definitely
The
a fan, and
biggest
I am
fan.
not making him happy. Oh my gosh.
Is that how they
Um,
behave when you don't make them happy, the fans?
this is kind of unusual for him, but again, like I say, I'm usually not home, so now he's got me, and he's like, "I know, I've got you here. Hey, hey, come here, come here, come here,
Oh,
come
he's so
here.
sweet.
There you go. There you go. Oh, he just wants a pet. Um, but I will be honest about one thing. When I went to FetCon, I, I, I just maybe had a little bit too much in my head of, oh yeah, I'm Carissa Dumond. And sometimes you have to have a kind of a check. And this was a check. I had all of this stuff from all of my bondage shoots. I had it labeled, dated, who I shot with, and pieces of things that were used, whether it was the panties or the tape, or the Ultra Girl shoe, or and I had all of that stuff there, thinking, you know what, I'm just going to give it back to the fans because I think that'd be really cool, if they want something, because I know a lot of people sell things, like they sell their panties, their shoes, and that kind of thing. Nobody wanted it. Even winning the bondage competition at FetCon this year, nobody wanted the outfit, and it was kind of a sad moment. But then I'm like, you know what? But it still means something to me, so I've kept them because it means something to me. When I'm old and gray and in my 80s, I can look at the baggie that says MILF Gigi shoot, pink panties, and remember her tiny little body and her little feet, and that she dominated me. That means a lot to me. So who cares that it doesn't mean anything to anybody else? I don't know. So that was kind of a check thing. You have to keep your head. You can't, oh, I'm big in this, because I'm not. I'm still just, small town girl. I have some fans. But I'm still just me. And you have to stay real.
How was your first step into the modeling business in general, and then
Mm-hmm.
the next step into the adult modeling business? What did you think and
Uh,
feel to say, yes, we can?
with the modeling, it kind of went hand in hand with the bondage. I went to a FetCon one year. I think it was 2014 with my husband. He was wanting me to get into wrestling. Women of Wrestling, WOW, that was his big thing all growing up. He had
And
tons of videotapes. He's going to kill me that I said that, but hey, there are people that are like, yeah, I'm that guy too. And he likes women wrestling. So we went to FetCon to check it out as a couple and ended
first
up
time
there
you
really
went
wasn't.
was the
First
first
time
time
we
you
went,
ever went.
first time,
Okay.
had never been. And my eyes just popped. And it was, I never knew that there was a fetish world. I never knew that there were people that felt, certain things when they saw spanking or certain things when somebody was kind of held against their will. And I was like, oh, wow, these are my people. My
Crazy
husband,
there,
on the
yeah.
other, I know, my husband, on the other hand, is like, I don't know about this. I'm more private. He's a very private person. And so yeah, he was like, I'll support you, but I'm not ready for
Go
this.
for it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it just kind of went from there. And I tried a couple of things that I didn't like. Um, and I didn't like I've done a couple of shoots where it was exposing everything, and I mean almost to the point of it was too much, and mentally I just couldn't handle it. So I said, no, 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 those are just things I don't want to do. And then the other parts, like the bondage and just the nudity, or the nude out in the woods, or nude laying on a couch with a little bit of lingerie drape, that spoke to me big time, and I said yes. And it just went forward. I've always had the fear of being discovered, but and eventually it did happen. And I'm currently surviving that, and still moving forward. So that's always and I think that's what a lot of models go through when people first find out you posed nude. You did what? You touched yourself in front of a camera? Yeah, I did. And I'm still the same person I was yesterday. And I think that's what people don't understand. What you see me as in our relationship, how we are, whether we're friends at work or baseball mom, I'm still that person. But I also have this person. And we all have that person that's in the bedroom, or that's the real you, the real interest. And some people can't handle that. They just want you to be just that.
Why do you think the respect drops so fast when someone knows that you are doing sexual things in public, or sell yourself like that?
It's still
Why is
not
that?
acceptable, socially acceptable to be nude. I mean, you still have to go places and pay to go places where you can just lay out in the sun nude. And
In the
sometimes
States?
that's all I want. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hear
You
it's for
have to
free.
go. Well, there you go. I know. I want to go there. Because here it's really hard to find a nude beach. It's like all the way on the very far, far, far corner. And yeah, it's disappointing. And people assume, well, if you're nude, well, then obviously you're sleeping with everybody. Excuse me?
Yeah, it's very American.
No.
It's a double
Yeah,
standard a lot, I mean,
it
you
is.
can't even pull out your breast and feed your baby, and it's because I mean, since
Right.
everything is
Right.
forbidden, I assume,
Yes.
since this is all
Yes.
forbidden, God beware,
Yes.
as soon as you see a nipple, it's automatically sexual, you know,
Yes. Automatically.
automatically. So,
Yes.
and I mean, a male nipple, for whatever reason, we guys have one
Yeah.
because we don't really need it, it's okay. But as soon as there's a nipple from a woman, boom, the world ends, I mean, look at the social
Yeah,
media. And
right.
I think since from, I don't also know why, for example, when parents kiss and the kids go, ugh, like this, if it would be something
You should
disgusting, why are we
celebrate it.
raised like that?
Right,
That's how
right,
that's how you
right.
started as a, little, because of this a few years
Exactly.
ago, I'm
Sorry, your
not
parents
pretending.
had sex. That's what
Yeah.
has to happen.
Yes, and maybe it's, I don't know,
Yeah,
because it's for me it's very hard to understand how a country like the States has the biggest porn
right,
industry in the world, has Hustler,
right,
Playboy, all these magazines, but
right.
everybody's hiding, and then you have the super super conservative Bible guys,
Yes.
who say this is all
Yes.
masturbation is a sin and whatever the fuck.
Right.
And
Right.
I think if you go really down that rabbit hole with them, you
Yeah.
won't believe what you discover what they do. So this
Exactly.
double standard
Exactly.
is for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love, being authentic, and
Yeah.
it's really hard.
Yeah.
When I went to FedCon first time,
Right.
thought, how will this be? Will it, because I know from here from Germany, the BoundCon is like a
Right.
secret thing, but it's more for public. Like there's a lot of
Right.
thousands of guests and shows and everything. And FedCon is more like,
Right.
like a class get together after, high school.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's more of a, and I was really nervous because I mean there were a lot of people that are famous or that you have seen in the last 10, 20
Right.
years on the internet. But
Right.
it was so low hierarchy and everybody was super cool and
Mm-hmm.
open because I think
Yeah.
there's not many,
Yeah.
since there is not many ways to meet in your country,
Right.
you use
Right.
the rare closed
Mhm.
rooms and opportunities where you can really be
Right.
yourself, I guess,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Is it
It is amazing because you can go there and you can be yourself. And okay, you see Jennifer Adams over there. You see she's a real person. Oh my gosh. And she is, and she's super sweet. And you can relax. You can wear the outfits you want to wear or the outfits you're known for, show your business cards. You can just be you. And then at night, there's of course the dungeon, so you can have a little bit of that too, because also that's another thing. It's taboo. You're not supposed to go to a dungeon. You're not supposed to like spankings. I'm sorry, but I do. um,
like, do you know
and
there's a list of things that you didn't like as a child, but you love as an adult, like spanking or
oh, spankings.
sleeping after lunch,
Yes, naps. I love
going to
naps.
bed early,
Yes. Yes.
all these things.
Bath time. Bath time. We love bath time. I mean,
Yeah, going into a
yeah.
hot tub, like, I don't know. I
Yes.
want to jump into the water or
Yeah.
in the public pool. It's boring.
Right.
And now you're like,
Yeah.
massage, like this.
Ah. Yeah, seriously.
That's how things
Seriously.
change.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
so you said you were exposed. Is there anything that
Mhm.
has your life changed a lot? Was it recently? Was it some time ago, or what happened? Have you been blackmailed, or
Uh,
what happened?
it was recently. It was right at the very end of 2023.
Oof,
I had worked with, yeah,
Happy
I had
New
worked
Year.
with I know. I had worked with a producer and done, adult content, and we no longer were on speaking terms or professional terms. But to me, I'm like, okay, I don't work with that person, but let them do their world. I do my world.
Yeah.
I don't want or wish any ill intent. Well, what happened is we also we have Facebook and Instagram, and on those, I am my everyday vanilla person, I guess is what you would say. So it has my real name, my address, my children on there, and my family. And this person decided, hey, I'm going to tag her as her bondage,
Alter
nude
ego.
persona
Mhm.
and have all of those on her Instagram. An hour later, I was going through just kind of looking, and I see it, and I see that I'm tagged, and it's me as Carissa, and I of course deleted it, but now it's out there. So then I go to work, and sure enough, one of the coworkers comes up and says, "Hey, everybody's talking about what you do when you're not at work." Well, okay, that's none of their business. It's not illegal, and it's me, and it's a deep part of me. And so I went to my boss, my director, and he said, "I've already heard. People asked me what I was going to do about it, so I went to HR and talked to them. They said as long as it doesn't happen at work and you don't try to recruit people." Oh, come on, please, no. I have that separation between my vanilla life and work and this life. And he said, it's not a problem. And from there on, and I've never changed how I am at work. That is me. That is my work persona. I have a position where I have therapist, and I tell people, kind of what needs to be done, and I help organize, and I have more of a lead position. And I don't ever want to change it. Nobody has asked me about my other persona, and I will never discuss it, even if they ask, because it's none of their business. And that's not something that I feel they need to know. Just like I don't ask them what they do when they leave for work. When they leave work, it's none of my business. If they want to tell me, great. But if it's something that's more taboo, I'm not going to discuss it. So that was my fear. But then a part of me was like, yay, I have a feeling this person was trying to destroy me by exposing me. And I've survived. I still have my job, because to me, that's most important. I need to be able to support my family. My bondage and my fetish, it's good money, but it doesn't support me. It does not do what I do with my master's degree and my job. So I'm very happy that I'm able to continue doing that. Am I a little bit angry? Of course I would be. Somebody wanted me to lose my job. Somebody wanted me to be defeated. Somebody wanted me to pay for whatever reason. But I'm okay. I'm moving forward, and I'm going to stay positive. And by doing that, I'm going to let karma do whatever needs to be done. And if it's years from now, it doesn't matter, because I need to stay true to me, to my family. I've had people say they don't want to have anything to do with me, and that's their choice. Then obviously they didn't really care about me, because I'm me, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm me. And you just have to get that way.
Did you also maybe deep inside feel a relief that it's finally out there? And
Yeah, because it's hard. It's really hard to have that double life, and to be worried, oh my God, they're going to see it. And especially now, I've done so many things with Don Cross, and he is on Instagram, and there's stuff out there. He's very careful about, he doesn't, of course, tag me, but there are times I've been out there and these magazines are being sold. They're sold to anybody. And I buy them, of course, because I'm in magazines. Yay. I've been published. But it is a relief.
finally.
So if somebody's, yeah, finally.
Hi, Mom.
But somebody, yeah, oh God. Hi, Dad. My dad doesn't care. He's like, you just be you. You just, yeah. He calls me fish face. He's like, fish face, you just do your thing. And
they know?
I do.
Your parents know?
My mother is deceased, but she kind of had an idea. And my father, he knows. We don't talk about it, but he knows, and he just tells me, do whatever makes you happy. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not hurting myself. He just wants me happy, and I think that's what's most important. No matter what choice you make in your life, you need to be happy.
I mean, I think
And I
always
am.
parents criticizing their kids of who they are, it's the
Yeah,
worst thing you can do, because I also say, I mean,
yeah,
you made them, so from where does
yeah.
that come, where you what
Right,
you criticize, you know?
right. Yeah,
This is
exactly.
a
Yeah.
audible. I'm not that good
Right,
to do that.
right.
And so you had like two worlds, your vanilla
Hmm.
world that has
Hmm.
probably not much to do with the other one, the kinky world, and you had, I
Right.
guess, some very slight
Yes.
part that they knew both, like your family and friends, close friends and stuff. And now it's like
Yes.
dripping from one side into the other,
Yes.
and
Right.
it's interesting. Does your day job has anything to do with modeling or anything like that? Completely
No.
different?
No. No. It's completely different. Completely different. No. I help people, but it's in a way to make their life better, doing their activities of daily living, like being able to swallow, to talk, to think, those types of things. So no, it has nothing to do with my modeling at all. No.
Is there anything in both jobs that is like similar? Maybe the mission, or I don't know, because you help people in both.
To help people, I mean, yeah, I mean, to help people, anything similar? Not really. Not really. If my Carissa went to work, that would be something else. might get people to talk more, but but I don't see them as being similar other than I feel like I'm helping people in both worlds, depending on what it is that they're looking for. I definitely wouldn't want to take my Carissa to work because it would go all bad.
What would Carissa say to, let's call her Jane Doe, who is in the
Uh-huh.
job? What
Yeah.
would they talk about?
Oh gosh. Oh
The
my
next
goodness.
movie.
Oh, I don't know. I have had where there's like a little bit of a connection between the two. In my vanilla world, I mermaid. I am known as a mermaid, and I go into the springs and the water, and I mermaid. Of course, in my vanilla world, I wear a top and my
Like
tail.
Ariel.
And yeah. So yeah, and then as fetish, I'm topless. And I'm also tied up and underwater,
And
and
shameless.
shameless, yes. So I've had a little bit of a connection, and I've had people expect like a vanilla mermaid, and then later they see the naughty mermaid, and it's kind of they knew it was going to happen, but it's still kind of a surprise. But I think that maybe that's the only time they've really kind of intersected, and it's been a little bit dicey. But I don't do children's parties. That I'm not that kind of a mermaid, not even in my vanilla world. No, I know exactly. And the
Oh,
10-year-old boy is
I'm
going,
blind.
yeah. No,
What
I
was
just
that? Ask your
because
dad. Bye.
I know. That is one thing. When somebody says, "Oh, I need a mermaid to show up for this little 5-year-old birthday party," I'm like, "No, I don't think you want me." Because I don't do all that hair, wigs, makeup, and stuff, and I just wouldn't want to be at that party and somebody recognize me and think, I don't want any issues. When children are involved, children stay over there. Carissa stays way over there.
Yeah,
I
I guess
just
it's the best.
even like being nude in a public place, I'm very vigilant about making sure no children. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. That's why sometimes it's a little uncomfortable for me when I go to a nudist resort and there are children. And I at
For
first
us,
am
it's
like,
just normal,
I
actually.
know. And then for me, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble. Oh, wait a minute, they're nude too. And then just kind of
Well,
coming to that mindset, God, why can't the world be
yes,
like
it's
that?
normal. I mean, you come nude, you go nude, and
Right.
we have in Germany
Yes.
it's called FKK,
Okay.
Kultur is like free body culture. So it's just
Yes.
like going to, just to a lake bath, but everybody's nude, kids, parents, old people. Like, I mean,
Isn't that awesome?
usually you never have a bathing suit until you're three. Usually, you just run
Oh
around. All
my
the kids, as soon
gosh.
as they can
Right.
run, they don't want to wear it. So and and so this
Yeah.
is because it is absolutely unsexual in any way. This is just go,
Yes.
and
You're
since
just nude.
everything nude in the States is
Right.
automatically sexual in their mind, that's why they
Yes.
keep this so
Yes.
far away. And I
Yes.
think then
Yeah.
when the kids become teenagers and start, have these feelings and
Right. Right.
and they
Right.
don't know anything about how this really works because it's just so
Right.
far away. That's when,
Right.
15 years old gets pregnant because they think keeping their socks on helps anything like that.
Yeah, no.
It's better now, I
Yeah.
guess, but also with the
Right.
consume of everything in the internet, I think, yeah, it should be. I mean, your first encounter of sex shouldn't be a porn movie, but
Right.
still, I think it's a very, very delicate theme, but I think just
Right.
closing everything away from kids is just
Right.
not the solution.
No,
Yes.
no, it's not. It's not. But I want them to make that decision for themselves. If they're growing
Exactly.
up and that's normal for them, great. But if it's a child that's going to be mortified because of the bathing suit I'm wearing, because you might almost see my nipple, then I do have an issue. And I've
Really?
actually been called out. I've actually been called out on Facebook. I had a mother tell me her 12-year-old daughter saw me in a bathing suit, and that, she thought she could trust her friends to be a little bit more reserved. And I'm thinking, okay, my husband bought that bathing suit and he's very conservative. My nipples are definitely covered. I mean, it's big triangles. It's a Walmart bathing suit. I can even remember it's a blue bathing suit. I bought it at Walmart and she had an issue. And I said, well, I apologize that your daughter had an issue, but I'm happy she came to you and discussed it and that she feels comfortable telling you it makes her uncomfortable. Please unfriend me because I'm not going to change who I am, but I don't want to introduce your daughter to something that she's not comfortable with. And pretty much she did that. And I'm okay with that. Um, at least
Yeah.
it started a conversation. If she, hopefully one day she'll understand that wearing a bathing suit, I can't change my breasts. They are what they are. I don't want to get rid of them. So to shame me because I have breasts and they were fully covered and my butt is covered. I don't, yeah,
Yeah.
that
And
was hard.
also, I have a 12, 13-year-old niece.
Yes.
When she sees something like a nipple, I mean, maybe they giggle,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
usually they're not
Yeah.
offended. Who is offended is their parents. And then they
Yes.
use the kids as
Right.
because it's a harder argument, and
Right.
forcing
Oh, it
other people
is.
to apologize for their own feelings, which they created, is the most
Right.
ridiculous thing anyway. Although it's all over
Absolutely.
these days, I
Right.
guess. And
Right.
it's, yeah. Um, can you remember what was one of the most fun things that happened to you in a bondage session? Maybe, I don't know, anything where you said, "Oh my God, we couldn't stop laughing,"
Oh, let's
or the
see.
weirdest thing, or anything
The
like, "What?
weirdest thing.
Nobody will believe me."
Um, I mean, there are weird moments like with the drooling being acceptable about drooling, or on days that you can't drool and you're like, oh my God, I'm like dry as anything and trying to think of things and do things to make the drool happen. Um, I've had runny noses, like snotty noses, and I'm in bondage and there's nothing I can do about it. Um,
And like,
yeah.
sexy.
Certain things you might say, like if you're totally tied up and my underwear is really giving me a wedgie, can you move it? Oh no, this is a good one, and this one's a little bit out there, but I was doing a shoot with College Captures, and I one of the things I do is I have my own personal anal hook. It is an anal hook, and you
What is
don't
an
see
anal
the
hook?
an anal hook. It is a metal hook that has a ball on the end of it, and they put it in your ass ball. I've learned to have my own. I had a fan do the research and find one where the ball and the hook and even the part that ties to the rope, it's all one piece. So you're never going to have to go to the hospital and say, I lost the ball that's on the end of this. No, not going to happen. So I
Okay.
have my own personal anal hook, and I was already tied up, and we're like, oh, the hook has to go in. So the rigger had to put the hook in. Again, professional versus,
So
and it's one of
usually you
those,
do that yourself before?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Usually I'll put the lube on it and I'll put it in myself, and then we go from there. Well, that kind of got bypassed, and I had to have the person do it. Now, luckily, the person is a good friend, and this is not an issue. There's nothing sexual about it, believe me. But what was funny was, as it's happening, it goes in, and I'm like, oh, good, it's in. That feels so good, and we all just kind of like burst out laughing. I mean, how often do you? Yeah, it was
It's a
it was
funny,
funny.
like a
It
sentence you
was
didn't know you
funny,
were going to
yeah.
say about this day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Um, I mean, it just, there's so many different things. And, especially in bondage, you have to have somebody do things for you that you normally would, like wipe your nose, move a strap, or, okay, that's a crotch rope, but wow, it's really kind of in the wrong spot, and having them move it to the right spot. Or a vibrator needs to move over a little bit so we can make this real, versus just kind of yeah. So I mean, there are always funny moments, and again, anytime you get naked, there's going to be something funny that happens. Oops, a little fart. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oops.
yeah. Oops. I know. You just hope there's nobody back there. Yeah. So yeah,
But
there are
and
lots of different
so like
funny.
when you, I mean, I was acting also in school and in theater,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it happens that you think of the whole thing you're doing. Sometimes I think of
Right.
if aliens would come to our world and we would have
Yes.
to explain them what a movie
Right.
is because they don't
Right.
know. Like we say, there are people who pretend to be other people to entertain other people they don't even know, and like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
funnily ridiculous sometimes. So just
Yes.
my question is like when you are in your bondage and you lie there
Yes.
and you have
Yeah.
a ball gag in your mouth, you can't say anything, you can't move much.
Right.
There's a guy
Right.
with a camera and you have to act something out. Is there
Right.
not sometimes the moment when you think, what the hell am I doing here? Isn't
Yes.
this all ridiculously funny I mean to do that?
Yes.
And
Yes.
how do you stay in your character, or do you just let it go and you produce outtakes? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. You just breathe. You just breathe. There are sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to survive this? Because there are some ties or some types of bondage that, oh my gosh, I am I going to be okay? And then just trying to talk yourself, yeah, you're going to be fine. You've done this before. You're going to be good. You're being taken well care of. If you get to a point where you think you're not good, you need to let them know. And I have finally broken character, I think once, and said, how much longer? And that was it. And that's an easy outtake. I've never had anybody complain about something like that. But you hate to do it. But yeah, you really get to know yourself. You get to know your limits, and it is sometimes kind of funny. Somebody's really going to like this. There are people that really like this, and it's their thing. It's what gets them off. Um, Yay.
What
Yeah.
is your personal, I mean, what is your personal favorite part of your job?
The favorite part of my job. Ah, I like the feeling that it gives me. It's like that survivor feeling. I like being challenged and pushed limits, to see how far I can go. And if somebody can make me, cry uncle. And there are a few that do, and others that don't. And not that that's a bad thing. I don't want everybody to make me cry uncle, but I mean, it's that challenge. It's that physical challenge. Can my body take it? Can I have a hog tie and a ball gag, and then be rolled over, on a cement floor, and it's 100 degrees outside, and I'm in a shed. Can I take it? Can I last? It is. And then that's also part of the high, because when you're done and you're out of it, you're like, yeah, I did it. I mean, it is. It's
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 like
pushing
going
the
to the gym,
limits.
like pressing the,
Yes. And
is it
having
like
like
that?
the best, yes. But I will tell you, I found a different workout that's not quite so intense in regards to the bondage. But man, is it a workout? And I've had to say, I can't do anymore. Tickling. You would never think
I hate to be
tickling.
tickled. It's
Oh gosh,
and I'm
wait till I
super
see you
ticklish.
again.
Yeah.
Oh, you just
I'm
told me.
practically everywhere on my body, I'm ticklish. There's not one part,
I,
even
I
here,
need to
if
tickle
you do it
you.
right. And
I want to
I
tickle
warn
you.
everyone. I get super aggressive because of course I laugh, but
Right.
I stop it right now, even if it's sometimes in a nice way when my girlfriend tries
Right.
to, and I say, stop it.
Right.
And it's not, and
Right.
when she does it in 5 minutes later, I'm not ticklish anymore in it, but it's like, it's, I mean,
Right.
how is it
Right.
for you then? Is it, you don't do it anymore or?
Oh, no, no, no. I do it. Growing up, I was like you. I didn't want to be tickled. Don't tickle me. I don't like it. I can't control it. No, don't do it.
Much?
And then I had somebody tickle me, and I'm like, well, I don't think I'm going to like it. I love it. I love it.
But loving it in a sexual, like arousing way, or just like, okay, it's fun, like, I don't know, like
It's a
getting a
little bit of
massage or anything.
no, it's not getting massage. It's a little bit of both. It is arousing because again, I'm tied down. Because if not, I'm pretty strong and I will wiggle and I will move and I will squirm and I'll try to get out of it. Not angry, but just, oh my God, I've got to get away from this,
Because you lose complete control of the body. I mean,
Yes,
you just,
but that's it. it's complete loss of control, but it's so much fun in terms of it's a heck of a workout because you finally get to a point you can't stop laughing, you're trying to breathe, and it feels good. You've got somebody else doing something to you that you can't stop, and it brings this intense, yeah. Maybe one day you'll let somebody do it to you, because I'm telling you, especially feet, I would not let people tickle my feet. And right underneath my toes is like, and I've had somebody take one of their brushes to that and just, oh my God. Oh yeah, yeah. I see your face. I see your face. I'm telling you, I literally was pulling my feet out of the stocks just by kicking because I was trying so hard to get away from it. But when it was over, I was like, that was the best. It was the best workout. I was exhausted. I mean, you could have literally just wrung me out. I was done. I couldn't have done anything else that day. And it was great.
I mean, a foot massage is one of the best things in the world, I would say.
I do love those, yes.
Giving
But
and also having one. But a
yes,
tickle is,
it's a whole different
well,
world.
maybe
I'm
I'll try. I don't
telling
know,
you.
but it has to be someone that is really aware of, because when I kick,
Right,
I could damage a lot. I have very strong legs.
right, right.
It's not fun. If
I
you,
know.
it's really really bad.
Right. And that's that again, that's why it was good that I was in the stocks. My feet, my ankles were in the stocks, my hands were tied. I definitely tested all of them. The next time I was in hose, I actually got my feet out. And then I had to be cognizant because I didn't want to hurt the person who was tickling me. So at that point, it's like, okay, let's use some vet wrap, because again, all it takes is a knee or a foot and bam, I've gotten somebody in the nose, but we both had fun and we just kind of laughed it off. But yeah, oh yeah, I know. There was no blood involved, but I know. But I'm
That
telling
was
you,
funny. How deep.
but oh, jeez. But I'm telling you, I love tickling, and I hated it as a kid. I hated it. I would do anything
See,
to get away from it.
the
Yeah.
next thing on our list: spanking, tickling,
Yes.
sleeping after
Yes.
lunch. And
And then finish with a foot massage. Hmm?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
What tip, or I don't know, consult would you give someone who maybe wants to try anything new in the relationship with a partner, like anything that is fetishy?
Right.
I don't know, like they
Right.
are into feet or into bondage or into anything,
Right.
but so
Right.
far they're like ashamed of it. What would you recommend to be, how to open it, this maybe, embarrassing discussion, that what if he says or
Right.
she says no?
Right.
What's your take on that?
If it's something that you want to try, no matter what it is, whether it's fetish or it's just a new sexual something or other, you should feel comfortable asking. And depending on how that person reacts, you'll pretty much know whether they're open to it. And if they are open to it, you try it and you might find you don't like it. Um, I've actually asked, like flogging. I like flogging and spanking. However, it's only by certain people, and it has to be almost like a dominant person doing it, because it can't be a fun thing. It's more of a disciplinarian thing, and I
Yeah.
enjoy that. But I can't take it from somebody who's like, um, it's just different. I'll just go ahead and say it. Like if my husband tries to spank me, he has a different technique than somebody who really spanks me. And it's just, that's not our normal dynamic. We're more a give and a take, not a he's a dom and I'm a sub. It's not that. We're more equal.
How can you
So
learn
that
that?
makes it a little hard.
How can
Hmm?
you, where and how can you learn to do these things, maybe also as a couple, are there workshops for couples, or I don't know.
There are workshops for couples, whether it's just a sex thing, an intimacy thing, or whether it's a fetish thing. A lot of the different kink communities will offer classes like introduction to kink. That way you can kind of, in a safe environment, see other couples talking about it. Because that's the other thing too. They think if you're kinky or in that kink world, then you're looking for other partners. No, it's not that at all. You're just looking for something to spice it up a little bit, or you're curious about it, and why not at least try it with the person you trust the most.
It is.
So yeah, yeah.
How
But
would you
yeah, there
just
are definitely,
yeah?
go ahead. Yeah.
Um, so you just Google, I don't know, spanking workshop and the name of your town, I would
Yeah.
say, right? And
Yeah.
so maybe you meet someone, you're here like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Could
exactly.
be.
Yeah.
I guess it's
Yeah.
very, very healthy to talk about your needs and what you want, and not to be ashamed of that, because that's
Yes.
also
Yeah.
something I have a lot in my job with
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
customers and clients. They are very ashamed to show them, or they don't allow
Right.
themselves to
Right.
shine, because who am I
Right.
to
Right.
book such a shooting or to whatever, do that.
Right. Right.
I'm not a
Right.
model. I shouldn't be in front of a camera. Say, who says that?
Oh,
I
excuse
don't look
me.
like the models on the cover of a magazine. And I say the models on the cover
Neither
of
do
a
I.
magazine. No, and even the models on the cover of a magazine don't look like the models on the cover of a magazine, because that's why
Right.
we are here as a team,
Right.
make you
Right.
look like that. But of course, if you wake up in the
Right.
morning,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
are some very rare people, and you look like, my God, are they beautiful? I
Right.
met one or two, and you just can't take
Right.
your eyes away from them, because
Right.
it's
Oh,
like, and
absolutely.
it's not like drooling. It's just like you can't believe
They're
this
just
these
naturally.
atoms
Yeah.
took
Yes.
this form, and whatever you see is just.
Yeah.
For me as an artist, you're just inspiring all
Yeah.
the time. They don't even have
Yes.
to necessarily look like those Greek goddesses and gods, but just like,
Right.
oh, this is the whole energy is there. But it's different.
Right.
But
Right.
apart from
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
I would always say go for it, because I mean,
Yeah.
I have never ever heard of someone who is old. When I was working at the as a
Right.
paramedic, you have a lot of
Yeah.
old people around. They never regret
Right.
doing something, only the things they did not,
Yeah.
and
At
and
least
so
try.
try it. Yes,
At
that's
least try it. Yeah.
absolutely. And I
Yeah.
guess so, if there's a way to just, talk about things and and
Hmm.
and do it, you shouldn't be ashamed.
Yeah.
There's another question I
Yeah.
have, because I mean, since you're in the
Sure.
whole fetish world as well,
Right.
in the, let's say, general public media, Hollywood movies,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, they sometimes,
Right.
cross the line a little bit. There was 50 Shades of Grey,
Right.
the book,
Right.
and there was also
Yeah.
the films, where I thought
Right.
the guy, what's his name? I don't know. Gray. Gray was his name, I guess. Had a
Yeah.
very fucked up childhood and stuff like that, and kind of
Right. Right.
because of that, he likes to spank and control women and whatever. And
Right.
I think this is
Right.
really bad, because then now you again like stigmatize people who are into anything
Right.
like that. They love to be controlled. They
Right.
love to control us.
Right.
There must be
Right.
something that happened when they were young, that they have a
Yeah.
traumatizing a trauma, and this is the
Right.
way they cure it.
Right.
What did your approach on that? Is it
I
true? I
mean,
mean,
there
all
might
your colleagues, have they all been in weird, I don't know, experiments as
no.
kids or whatever?
No, most of them have pretty normal childhoods. I mean, I don't think that there was really anything traumatic about my childhood. My parents loved me very much. My grandparents, I had cousins that I hung around with, and I had normal life. So no, I don't think you have to go through a trauma. And you know, my dad was not dominant, but I definitely like a dominant personality when I'm in the fetish world. I like somebody dominating me. So yeah, I don't think it really has anything to do with it. And I didn't discover all of this until I was 46. So,
Oh, wow. That's
I
so
mean,
you're late.
I never knew that there was this world. I never sought this world. It just kind of opened up and was there in front of me. And I was like, oh, okay. And it really spoke to me. And so now I'm making up for lost time because, wow, I don't know if it would have been better if I'd known sooner. Because I mean, it can be kind of a little bit of a playground. Oh my gosh, there's so many choices. But no, I kind of like how I waited until I'm more mature, more knowledgeable of the world, a little bit more cautious. Somebody in their late teens and 20s. Wow. Yeah, I think I would have been a burnout at that age. But some people, they handle it very nicely. I guess it just depends on your personality. But yeah, I don't think you have to have a trauma or it's because I'm making up for daddy issues. No, I don't think so. No. Oh
Why do you
God,
think that
no.
the media is doing it like that? Also, for example, the topic of a foot fetish,
Right.
or
Right.
I personally like women's feet
Yeah.
a lot when
Yes.
they are
Right.
beautiful.
Right.
But some people think when I talk to them, say, so you just like any feet? I say no. Also
Oh
don't
no,
like any
no.
breasts, or I don't like any meat, or I don't like any animal,
Right.
or any,
Right. Right.
I'm picky. I'm very picky, but I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
it's a beautiful part of the body. If you see it in movies, usually it's a creepy
Yes.
guy. I think there was
Yeah.
one movie, American, I don't know, road trip or something, and
Yes.
there's a woman
Right.
sitting in a bus. She takes off her shoes and socks, and then there comes a sneaky guy at night crawling up and sucking her toes. And I think,
Right.
the hell do they portray something that can be really funny? Because every girlfriend I had
Right.
and I took care of the
Yeah.
feet after
Right.
we broke up, she really missed that attitude a lot.
Yes.
Because I mean,
Yes.
everybody knows how good the
Exactly.
foot massage is. Why do you
Right.
think, who is behind this whole stigmatizing people who are a little bit out of the box of the, why is that?
I'm hoping that what they're trying to do is make it a little more normal so people will start talking about it. And that might be the only way they can present it is how, the vanilla world sees it, and then slowly trying to make it a little bit more what it really is. But I haven't seen that gradual, okay, let's make it a little bit more real. There have been a couple of TV shows where they will actually have like a dominatrix, and welcome to her world, and it's a real person, and they show you kind of what she does, but it's just socially not acceptable still. And it's a shame because people think as soon as they see, oh, you're kinky, oh, so you must have sex with everybody. No. No. And again, like you said, I'm very picky about what I like. I'm very picky about who touches me and where they touch me. There are some people that like dirty feet. There are some people that like really clean feet. Some people that like feet, with really clipped toenails and no polish, and some that like the polish. I mean, there are people that like, girls to have the nails, the fingernails, girls with long hair, short hair, big breasts, little breasts, huge breasts, astronomical, those kind of breasts. I mean, that's one of the clips that's really selling is when the girls put on one of those things where it looks like their boobs are this big. You can't say that
Whoever,
because you're in this world, like you're a fit guy, you like all feet. No, no,
I like
no.
women, but also not all women. You know,
Right. Yeah, there you go.
I like food, but not
Exactly.
all food. It's
But
like,
not all food, right?
it's
I mean,
true.
and you can have taste and picks. So I don't know. I mean, a part of me hopes that this is a way that the media is trying to get people to start having those conversations, or allowing us to say, oh, hey, did you see that 50 Shades of Grey? Yeah, I did, but I don't really think it represents. And then there's that conversation starter. So maybe, fingers
I think that's a
crossed.
good thing, that it's more in
Yeah.
the middle of society. I sometimes wonder, does the vanilla world exist really? Or is like 90%
Right.
of the vanilla world not that vanilla and just pretending,
And just pretending. Yeah, seriously.
or
Because when you do, yeah, when you
whatever.
get behind those closed doors, yeah, there's something else going on there. And some of that world is more devious than what we are. I mean, again, we're not hurting people. We're not trying to hurt people. We're not killing people. We're just doing our thing with other people that like to be in the fetish world.
Do you have any big life dream that
Big life dream.
have left, or you say that's something I really want to, I don't know, have experience, whatever.
um,
Completely
let's see.
egoistic, just really about
Yeah,
you,
realistic.
like world peace,
Yeah.
okay, but I mean, for real.
No, no. Career wise, I'd like to eventually be able to retire from my vanilla job and still be able to have income coming in. I don't think I'll ever be one of those people that says, oh, I'm going to live on my retirement or my social security. No, I have bigger expectations than that. I have bigger wants than that. So I definitely would like my kinky world and the things I do to eventually support, that extra money. One of my dreams that hopefully will become a reality. My first one was to get printed. I wanted my fetish world in print. I wanted to kind of have that that dream. And that's happened. I am in print, I am in magazines, and I'm sorry I buy every one, because one day my family, when I'm gone, are going to look and go, "Oh my God, grandma, great grandma did that." Yeah, I did. I mean, I want them to be comfortable with their bodies. I mean, yeah, okay, say they see me naked in these magazines, but it's not like I run around naked around my family. I don't, that's not, they're not comfortable with
Unless they
that.
pay. No, just kidding.
Right.
It's a job.
Just
It's a
feed me.
job, people.
Just feed me. I love to eat. But my big thing is, and it's not world peace, and it's more of a personal pleasure. I want to be able to go somewhere like, I have an offer currently. I still haven't been able to do it. I want to go to Hawaii, and I want to swim with whales, and I want to be naked, and it is possible. I just have to get there. It is doable. My husband's on board. He's like, yep, definitely. Because that's my vanilla, my little girl persona. I want to swim with whales. And it's also my adult girl woman saying, I want to be naked. I want to be natural like they are.
The whales are
Yeah.
naked, right?
Yeah.
So
They
you
don't
should
have
be
clothes
naked
on.
too.
They don't have little t-shirts and little undies. No. So I want to be naked.
Why
And
not?
and that kind of can be shared socially in the vanilla world, because if you show the back and it's just the bottom and no face, you can't really identify who that person is. And it's not breast and it's not a crotch, and people will accept that. You can find it on Instagram every day of the week.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So just another way to kind of segue and be a little more comfortable.
You said you would love to have like more income, or a different kind of income from the
Yeah.
Carissa world. So what kind
Yeah.
of income streams can someone imagine if you're bondage model? Of course, you get paid if someone books you for films
Right.
and maybe
Right.
on stage or something. But
Right.
how does it work? Because
Well, then you also you produce your own stuff, and that's the thing too. I'm not just a model; I do produce. I'm a very small producer, but I will
Mhm.
collaborate with other models, and I have my own clip store. And as I keep adding to it, I add a lot of different things, and then over time, that starts just having kind of a general income. And then other people, new people, discover you, and then they're like, "Oh, I like the underwater. Oh, I like the nudity." And they'll start buying. And I'd like that eventually to be able to support, just as an extra income.
Mhm.
Just to use it as, spending money, or hey, I want to make that trip to Hawaii. Well, let me just pull it out of that and go for it. I've talked to people that have been in the business for years, and they say it's possible as long as you just kind of keep it in moderation. I mean, I'm not going to be going out there buying, these big fancy cars and staying at these big fancy hotels, but I'm still going to be able to live life and do the things I want to do. And that's the biggest thing. I want to live life and do the things I want to do. And I think everybody should try to do that, because when you're on your deathbed and reviewing your life, I want to say, you know what? I pretty much did everything I wanted to do. I lived the life I wanted to. My family's with me. I love them. They love me, the good, the bad, the ugly. And yeah, I mean, that's my hope. That's my hope.
Do you believe in life after death?
There are days I do, and there are days I don't. I hope so. I hope there is a life after death. I am Episcopalian. I believe in God, but I just sometimes some of the things that I see in my job, I question.
As a therapist, you mean?
But
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I question it. Just some of the things that people go through and how their life ends, and I don't know. I want there to be, even if I come back as a flower. I
Would
don't
you like to come
care.
back
Yeah, I would. I would.
in the same
And
time
then I
or another
wonder,
time?
probably another time. Yeah, another time. And then I wonder, well, would I know this personality, or would it just be another life? I don't know. That has no, my person right now, I don't feel like I was here before, but every now and then I'll either have an interaction or be a place and be like, gosh, it feels like I've been here before, and I know I haven't. So is that a possibility? I don't know. What about you? What do you think? I mean,
I'm not sure. I mean, I was brought up
yeah,
Christian. I don't believe in the
Yeah.
Bible, although right now I'm reading a
Right.
book that is from a woman in the 19th century, and
Right.
she would be considered as a life coach right now or a therapist. And
Okay.
there's a lot
Right.
of God in there, and she takes
Right.
quotes from the Bible, but explain them in a very beautiful way. Like
Right.
if you would take the word God and put universe in it, and you take
Yeah.
Jesus, and that's then the word life, and you take the Holy
Right.
Spirit, and that's the word
Right.
soul, everything
Right.
makes way more sense because I'm just not. I don't think in all these, figures that are named from
Right.
man.
Right.
And
Right.
I also think that if what Ricky Gervais said once, that if you take all religions books you have, the
Right.
Bible, the Quran, whatever,
Right.
and you
Right.
take them
Right.
away and burn them and erase all
Right.
knowledge in humankind
Right.
of those
Right.
figures, Zeus
Right.
and Apollon, whoever,
Right. All
Salcoatl,
gone.
call them what you want,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
take all the scientific books and burn them as well. In a
Right.
1,000 years, all those scientific books would be back exactly the same because all those
Right.
things would be have the same outcome. Nobody
Right.
ever would remember a God or a Jesus or whatever,
Right.
or a
Yeah.
Manitou or a Buddha, because the story
Right.
would be completely different. And that's
Right.
the messages would be the same, but that's it.
Right.
So a lot, what comes after death for me, I don't believe in a reincarnation as I am told sometimes, but
Okay.
I guess I mean
Right.
the energy goes somewhere,
It
because
goes
nothing is
somewhere.
wasted in this
Yeah.
universe. So what I
Right.
can imagine, if like our soul is like there's a
Mhm.
huge stream of life or
Right.
energy, let's call it energy, or the force if you're a
Right.
Star Wars fan, and then
Yeah.
maybe there comes a little, like a little cup is taken out and put down to our earth here, which is then me
Yeah.
in my
Right.
soul. And when I die,
Right.
like this whole fluid, the whole water goes back into the river,
Back in.
mixes with
Right.
everything else, and then maybe
There
somewhere
we
else
go.
another cup comes out, which has 3 drops from my previous cup and
Right.
the other. So
Right.
that sometimes you feel I've been here, but not. I don't think that my
Right.
soul or my energy is a container
Right.
that is a glass, and the whole thing gets
Right.
into another. So I
Right.
was Cleopatra
Right.
when I was younger. I don't think that. But maybe I was a
Right.
little part of her toenail or something like that.
Right. There
And
you
this is
go.
now a
Right.
part of my ear. Who knows? Like this.
Right.
So
Who
this is
knows?
something
Yeah.
that comforts me because I don't think it's
Right.
completely over, because it wouldn't. I mean, why the whole mess for nothing? I mean, this whole
Right.
theater we're
Right.
in, this whole dream sequence, or maybe
Yeah.
we're just a, I don't know, a computer game on someone else's
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
so I hope that when you die, you get some answers of that,
I
and
hope
then you
so.
just are, like you said, you get broken and then just
Right.
rebuild in a different form.
Yeah. In a different form.
That would be good,
Yeah.
I guess. But
Yeah.
maybe it's just a theory, I don't know.
It's a good theory, though. It's a comforting theory. Yeah, there's got to be something else. Do I need to know what it is? Not necessarily, but just to know that there's got to be something. There's got to be something else. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I guess
Yeah.
also that's why you click with some people like fast.
Yes.
So all your
Yeah.
atoms and all your quantum field, and I mean this is all scientific now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
just click, and the vibration
Yep.
is the same.
Yeah.
With others, you instantly don't like them. You can't even say why.
Why? Yeah. Yeah.
It's not working. It's magnetism, or I don't know.
Right. I don't know.
And
Yeah.
that's why, for example, at FatCon, where when I was there, there was an instant
Yeah.
click with a lot of people because it felt like
Yeah.
going to your tribe, and also there were
Yeah.
some weird things I thought, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
whatever
Yep. But let them
whatever
be
suits
them.
you. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's like the
Exactly.
beauty
Yeah.
of the whole. It's like you go to the zoo, it's like a very exotic
Yeah.
zoo experience. Like, oh wow,
Yes.
I didn't know this
Wow.
exists, but okay, I learned something new.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just be
Yeah. Oh,
open-minded and
absolutely.
look for
Yeah.
people you connect with, and then have, like, we had to
Right.
shoot at the beach, in the morning.
Yes. Yeah. That was
I
neat.
guess yeah, there will be those pictures. I saw them already, but I will
I hope
publish
they're
them.
good.
Oh, they're
Okay.
incredibly good,
Awesome.
of course.
Okay.
And it was super hot and super early.
Yes, it was. It
So
was. It
it
was
was sweating.
muggy.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, it's Florida, so
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
it's a
Yeah. It
lot.
was crazy. And then trying to figure out, okay, I've got to try to get this bra off or this bottom off, and
Yeah, because
people are
people were
coming to
walking by and, oh,
because they want to see the sunrise.
Yeah,
Well, so do
yeah.
we.
Tourists.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and I mean, I
know.
don't know. I didn't want to be arrested for, public, how
Yeah.
do you call
Oh,
that?
same here.
Public something.
Yeah, public nudity. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, so, but yeah, it
yeah,
worked out pretty well. So,
yeah. It did. It did.
thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for being my guest. I hope we could
absolutely.
shed some light into this whole
Yeah.
universe of this dark world, the dangerous blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I know.
No, it's a very colorful, fun thing, I guess.
It is. It is. It really is. It's
Um,
enjoyable.
I appreciate that you were my guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
And
It was exciting.
yes, it was very much. So just to make clear, if people want to get in touch or want to see your work or support
Yeah.
you, how can they do
Yeah.
that?
I have my own site. It's carissadumond.com. They can go to that. I'm also on Clips for Sale under the same name, and I'm also on Loyal Fans, and I also have OnlyFans. So yeah, they
How
can
many
find me
hours
there.
does your day have when you do all
Oh,
this?
good gosh. I start at 3:30 in the morning, and I usually try to get to bed by 10. Yeah,
You wake up
because
at
I'm
3:30 in the morning.
3:30 in the morning. Oh yeah, because I've got to get my run in, I've got to get my shower in. Yep. And then usually I'm uploading a video for that day, and then I head to work, and then I'm off at 5, and then dinner, walking dogs, feeding dogs, and then trying to do a clip real quick, and then going over my all my social media. Oh yeah, it's
So this is your
crazy.
morning routine, like 3:30 in the
Mhm.
morning?
3:30 in the morning. I'm an early bird. I am an early bird. I'm not a sleeper.
Well, I
Anybody
can
who
tell.
shoots with me, I'm the one that you want because I'm up and ready 7, 8 o'clock in the morning because I've already done my run. I'm good. Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed. So it's 5 hours of sleep, and you still look so young
Yeah.
and fresh.
There are
I've
days.
seen
There are
you. I
days.
know it's true. It is. My
But
compliments.
yeah, thank
Carissa,
you.
thank you so much. I'm very happy if we meet again this
Yeah,
year in
thank
life.
you.
Uh,
Yes.
and thank you so much for being so honest and so open and just
Oh,
clarifying
absolutely.
so many things and I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you so much, Oliver. This was fun.
Have a great,
Bye.
great day. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye.